Well, happy Tuesday. Tuesday, I intend to stick with my traditional take out the trash. So today I have some cut-offs, well, tear-offs of some book page, all in sort of a similar, well, that one's not very similar, color palette. So I'm going to collage these together and make something. So I guess mostly this would be covered by another piece. So I'll just get gluing. So I hope everybody is well. It's the 3rd of January. We're already 3 days in. And I was supposed to go back to work today, but given that my vacation was a little, don't get me wrong, it was good, I enjoyed it, but I had taken an additional week off to get some stuff done, and I didn't get that week off because I was in Victoria longer than I wanted to be. Oh, come on, you. You can tear. Hopefully this project won't take very long. We can move on to something else. There we go. So pretty. So this book that these images came from is by an artist that I'd never heard of before. So her name is Lisa Siebert, S-I-E-B-E-R-T. So I have a link to her website on Pinterest, so that is in the link below. She's really quite fascinating, actually. So both her and her daughter are artists. Like I said, I'd never heard of her before, but I have since, looking her up. You know what the problem is? No, neither do I. Let's just face it. They have a really interesting blog. So I got right into it, investigated. Then I saw on her blog that she had done a podcast, and it was about aging as an artist, and I thought, wow, this is particularly timely for me, since I'm thinking about my creative self. You know, it's hard to identify as an artist for me, but I certainly identify as a creative. And so I listened to the podcast, and she talked about, you know, if you want to set goals for yourself, you have to write them down, because as a creative person, you have a lot going on in your brain. You're thinking about 10 billion other things that you want to do, try, and retry in some cases, learn, grow. I've learned here that it's better if I just tear these all in one fell swoop. Very beachy sort of look. Yeah, I mean, it even has a shell right here, so. And that's what I learned as well. I am a long time journaler. I just find it really helpful to get big thoughts and ideas out of my head and on paper. I'm going to take off this brighter blue. Doesn't seem to match with the palette I'm going for. It's when I leave a piece of paper under the ruler, so I can't press the rulers flat. I made this little tear ruler myself. If you're new to my channel, I just took an ordinary ruler from the thrift store and took a pair of needle nose pliers and nipped all the way along. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over and tear so I can get a little bit of white. Like that. Mix it up a bit. So that's what I've done. I wrote down what my goals are. I've made plans about how I'm going to achieve those goals, and I feel pretty good about it. So one of those goals is environmental. I find it difficult to stay excited about a project if I'm surrounded by too much clutter, but I'm also awful at throwing things out. So here I am, getting rid of some clutter. These are kind of neat little pieces too, aren't they? They all, yeah. Yep. Oh, got one more. Anyway, I was saying I extended this holiday. I do have to go to work on Thursday because I have client appointments booked, 4 of them, and I don't want to rebook them. That's not fair. So I just need a couple more days to work on some home stuff and, you know, formulate. I need to formulate. Really get myself in a place where I don't like that blue. Maybe I'll put this on an edge. I'm actually recording this on Saturday. And that's why you're not seeing a difference in the quality of the recording. I just got a text from Jordan who said my whatchamacallit, my Amazon order should be here shortly. So that's pretty exciting. And that includes the new lighting and microphone and all the good stuff. And he's agreed to come over and help me set up. He knows his mother. So, while we were on vacation, now you have to remember Mark hasn't lived at home for, well, he's 30, he'll be 33 soon. And he was 17 when he left home. He moved to another city to go to college, and then, there were brief stays at home, but away he went to his first posting in Halifax. So that was 2010. It was 2010. So not only did he not live at home, he didn't live in the same province. So I don't get to see him as often as I like because of the distance. So having him to myself, basically, for a whole week, it just did my whole soul good. I got a lot of this kind of thing happening. And when it was just the two of us, because he's not a sleeper either, so he'd be up at 4:35. So we would sit on the couch together, and he would lay his little head on my lap, and just loving him up. It was so nice. But as soon as anybody else walked in the room, whoop, up he got. Dangerous to let anybody know that he loves his mommy. This is just a piece of, I think it's like resume paper, maybe. I don't want it too thick. My intention is to make some tags or a pocket or some journaling cards. We'll just see how far we get. So I know I don't have enough to cover the whole page. That's why I'm trying to keep it to one end. And of course my daughter-in-law, and I've gone on and on and on about her in the past. I just adore her. And when I came, she said, there's just one thing I want you to make for me. I want you to make me lasagna soup. When she was here at Easter time last year, I made lasagna soup and she was wild about it. And I said, sure, of course I will. She says, I've tried to make it, but it doesn't turn out. And I said, did I give you the recipe? And she, no. That's why it didn't work out. You need the recipe, my girl. So, if you're interested in the recipe, it's in the Pinterest links, of course. Just using a little piece of this. I also made a traditional Newfoundland holiday cake, a gumdrop cake, and we just happened to be at the grocery store, a little weird grocery store, and I was in the baking aisle because I needed maybe some spices or something for the lasagna soup, and I saw baking gums. Do you remember baking gums? It seems very old-fashioned. And so I snapped up a bag and I said I was gonna make gumdrop cake. So it's a pound cake, sort of, like the same dense texture, and lots of butter. The way all good things are made, butter. Yeah, it's not going to make a perfect square here. And my husband loves it too. Where I live here, there is a huge Newfoundlander population that came here to work in the factories, particularly the Cannon factory. And when I say Cannon, I mean the brand of towels. I don't mean, you know, putting a lead ball in and taking down the castle. And so I believe the Cannon factory intentionally recruited women, particular from Newfoundland, to work in their factory. And so in Cambridge, which is, you know, just south of where I live, there is a ton of people from Newfoundland. So my husband has become friends with a couple of these older fellas, and so he's enjoyed some Newfoundlander cuisine, which includes fried bologna. They laughingly call it Newfie steak. So Doug was sure to put in his order for Newfie steak for breakfast. Okay, now I guess the first thing I will do is straighten up these 3 sides. Mark is a fantastic cook. On Christmas Eve, we went out to get a couple of groceries. And as I was putting them away, I said to Andrea, where's your ham? Because she said she wasn't making turkey. Mark doesn't like turkey. She's going to do a ham. And she says, right there in the fridge. I said, that's not a ham. Well, what is it? I said, it's a pork shoulder. Oh. I think I will take a strip right there. So when Mark found out it was a pork shoulder, he took over. And I was telling Catherine about it yesterday, and she told me what the name of this thing is, but I've forgotten. I'll write myself a list again. He has this gizmo, so I don't know what he put on this pork shoulder, but he went crazy with it and then sealed it in a specific kind of bag, put it in a huge stock pot full of water, and then this tool gets immersed in the water and cooks the whatever's in the bag. He left that on for nearly 24 hours. And then he took it apart and put it in the oven and roasted it for a little while. Oh my goodness, it was so good. I forget what it's called though. It's not English. I don't think it's an English word. Or maybe it is. Okay, so this is, let's get some, that's 4 by 4. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 by 4. I don't want to cut there because that will leave little short pieces. So I think I'll go this way and make a tag. And this can be a pocket. I see a little piece. Well, trim it off, Nancy. Okay. I'm going to pause while I grab some paint because I want to do some paint on here. All right, where's... Okay, so I've just got a little yogurt container here. I'm going to add some paint. getting paint everywhere. I should get like a box with a little edge on it. Okay, gonna clean up the mess now. Okay, paint's dry. And I want to get my new favorite tool, sanding sponge. And I'm just gonna scratch the edge to make some lines and to take off the color on the very edge. Let me lift that up so you can see what I've got going on here. I think you can. So you see I've made some scratches along the edge, and there's a white edge. Okay, happy with that. So this is how I would go around distressing shiny book pages. How big is this one? It is 8 inches. 8 inches? 8 inches. I'm going to leave this long. Instead of making tags, I'll make a belly band. Or side tuck. I've torn this poor phone book apart. Oh, I got one more. Oh my word. I did not have one more. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I've got Faded Jeans Distress Oxide here. Oh! Just ink up these edges. It's kind of the white paint kind of looks like bubbles going up. Just putting in a little more. Make it a little messier. There, that looks good. I like that. I thought that was going to come off. There's just a teeny tiny little piece of paper there, and I thought, oh, that'll fall off. But I tried to pick it up and it won't come. Okay. Just kind of inking up some of these edges. Wow, I'm happy with this. It came out better than I thought. All right. Next, I want to do some stamping, and I have some nautical looking stamps here. So this one is a ship's log. I don't know. I've got some stays on. That is dry as a bone. Should have shook this first, I guess. That's what I get for not using my things like I should. So this is cotton white. Looks a little beige to me. Okay. Let's give this a try. Stamp. Meet ink. You can see it in the, if you just get the right light. Ah. use all the stamps. So that was a little compass. This one would be an anchor. Okay, I'm gonna clean my stamps. Hey, I want some images that I want to add to make these fancy schmancy. So this is an image that I fussy cut from the same book. And again, going around with my sanding block so that it will accept ink. And I mean, it certainly distresses it, which is what we're going for here. Okay. I'm gonna try brown distress ink first. That's better. Okay. A little bit of cheesecloth. Yes. Got some tea cloth. Cheesecloth dyeing right now. I didn't have any tea or coffee stains, so there's an inch of coffee left in the pot. I threw in some cheesecloth. But for this one, I can use white. Okay. Okay, that's good. I don't need to glue it down because I'm going to put Fabri-Tac on the back of this shell. Come on. All right. This one, I have another little picture here. I'm just going to cut like a 1/16 of an inch outside this frame. me hold this up. I hope you can see how these two sides are different from these two sides. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. You might have to trust me. Whoops. Whoops. Where did my... didn't have a sponge on it. Do I want a little bit of cheesecloth on there? Did I hear you say yes? Of course. All right. I want it to look a little stringier, so I'm taking some of the edge threads out and pulling it on the bias and flipping it. Oh man, that looks nice. Yep. Okay. Just adding a couple more dots. And sort of bunching it into those dots so that it doesn't show. And see how I'm giving this another twist. Oh man, I'm happy with that. Okay. This one I'm just going to leave the way it is. Maybe I'm going to add some sewing. That I feel certain about. I shall return. Stitching's done. I'm sure you can see the dark holes where the needle went through. But look at the difference when you press those holes down. I hope you can see that. Maybe it's too far away from the camera to make a difference. Okay. Now my thread ends. I'm going to leave the thread ends, but something that I discovered yesterday is that the reason I have trouble with thread ends is because it doesn't look accidental. It looks like I took a pair of scissors and trimmed them. So what I'm doing is I'm holding these threads together, running the blade across it, and see how it roughs up those threads. I hope you can see that. I like that a lot better. Okay, this one. Happy, happy. Okay, I've got some, it's a mixture of white iridescent sequins and some clear shiny beads. So I should probably put down a piece of paper so I don't have trouble getting these back in. So I've got some glossy accents here. Even some silver ones in here. I do have tweezers somewhere. Who knows where? Okay, I'm kind of happy with that. I'm not going to put too many beads in, just a few. Stay down, you. Here's kind of a different one. Maybe one more right up here. Okay, let that dry. For this one, I'm going to run a bead of glossy accents right down the edge of this shell. Now, of course, not all of that's going to stick. In fact, not much of it's going to stick, I would reckon. See if I can get some of this back in the bottle. Love this. Yeah. Might be a few bare spots where I can put a couple extra beads right there. That one will break off. I might as well take it out. Okay. I'm quite excited about that. So I'm going to let these dry. Alrighty. So I want to add a little topper to that tag. So I've got a couple pieces of fabric. I think they're both Tim Holtz. I have them in a box marked Tim Holtz scraps. Sometimes the problem with this is the edge looks too cut. Like the torn one, you can see there's a difference in the length of the fibers, but because this one was cut and I just pulled some fibers out, it doesn't look torn. So I'm going to get out my sanding block again. And that just softens up those fibers. Like that. I hope you can see the difference. So I'm going to do all four sides. That's a very simple little trick. Just making sure I've got it right side up. Oh yeah, that looks really good. fold it in half. So one's going to be longer one side, one's going to be longer on the other side. You know what else? I want to add a little bit of cheesecloth behind that. Come on, glue. Okay, gonna sew. So here they are finished. I ended up sewing and adding cheesecloth to this belly band or side tuck. I didn't stitch the ends, and I left the ends fairly blank so that if, you know, it's a 7-inch page, it's 7¼ inch page, it could be trimmed down. I'm happy with how these turned out. And here's the journal card. So thank you so much for joining me today. What do you think? Is this something you would have tried, adding beads and sequins? Are you ready to give it a shot just to see how it adds a little bit of bling bling? I heard a song today on the radio, and one of the lines was, "A turtle can't move unless it sticks its neck out of its shell." So I stuck my neck out here and went with something really different, and I'm quite pleased with how this turned out, and I hope you are too. Take care. I'll see you again soon.